Welcome to the Zeus podcast. I'm your host, Zeus the Prophet, and not even the force of Mother Nature can stop it, but I can. Today's episode is different, fam. Not because of titles, not because of achievements, but because of what it takes to keep showing up when life doesn't give you ideal conditions. This is episode 18, the Simon Cordova story, a story built on resilience, discipline, chaos, dark times, and pure stubbornness. No filter. Donkeyman is a Melbourne-based artist, producer, engineer, and founder of Donkeyman Records. He has been building Donkeyman since 2018, but his journey in music started well before that. Beginning on guitar, he spent years developing as a musician, expanding into production, recording, mixing, mastering, video, and photography. Does it all, turning himself into a full creative force. Part of that journey included 2 years creating Caravan, which became one chapter in the bigger Donkeyman story. That hands-on, self-made path shaped the independent mindset behind everything he does. With a sound rooted in rap rock and a mindset built on independence, rebellion, and authenticity, Donkeyman has represented for many years now, more than just an artist project. Through Donkeyman Records, he has built a creative hub that offers studio services, content creation, artist development, and community-driven events, all focused on helping artists succeed on their own terms. Alongside the music, he hosts the Donkeyman Show, bringing raw, sharp, and unpredictable energy into podcasting. Everything he does is driven by the same mission: create something real, build culture, and prove that artists do not need traditional system to make an impact. Let's get into it. But before we do, I want to take a moment to shout out to our sponsor, High Quality Online. Go check it out. It's for self-development, personal development, financial freedom connected to the profit circle. So if you need clarity in life, you need direction, we're building this. Come and join us. My brother,
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. We're feeling blessed, man. And I thought what I usually do is as I pray before I introduce my guest, but this time's a little bit different because I know how you value that tremendously. So I thought
Absolutely.
we'd say a prayer in the name of Jesus Christ. Bless this episode, and no negative energy or light can enter this space right now. Anything that's not of God or Jesus Christ, you can fuck off now. In the name
Absolutely.
of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Because this is gonna be very powerful. My brother, it's been a while, man.
Absolutely.
Brother, I wanted to start off at the very beginning.
Yes.
Find out, part of giving you your flowers and your well-deserved respect. I wanted to start off at
Yep.
the very beginning. Where were you born, and who were you like as a child?
Well, so I was born here in Melbourne. I was born in St. Albans Hospital over in the west, I think, on the north. And yeah, I mean, I'm the oldest child, and I was actually very shy as a child. I was the complete opposite to what you'd think I would have been. I was very shy. I was very introverted, but I also, around people that I knew, I was the opposite. I was very extroverted, if that makes sense, So I was both introvert and extrovert, but it depends on who I was around. And it's kind of like that now, is that depending on who I'm around or where I am will depend on how I act. And it's kind of, I suppose it's kind of been like that since I was a child.
So who was pretty much your musical hero as a child growing up?
As a child growing up. So here's the thing. So with music, I'd never really registered it as a thing that people make. I thought that there was songs that existed and that's just what they were. They weren't people making them. I wasn't really aware of lyrics. And it was something that was just on, and it was just on TV. That's where I kind of saw music was, Rage. And I was listening to a lot of my mum's music, old Spanish music that they'd play continuously. And occasionally there'd be like Queen or some kind of 80s or 90s rock. And that was pretty much the extent of my music. I mean, my granddad played piano. He restored a piano. My uncle would play guitar. My mum played guitar. But in terms of specific idols that making music, I wasn't really aware of that until maybe the age of 10. And then that was when I kind of discovered a bit more. I bought my first album. I bought 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying, and then I bought same day I bought Spiderbait, which is like they're a Melbourne rock band.
By the way, man, it's unfiltered truth. So
Beautiful.
my brother, it's an honor to have you. Truly, it is, bro. What was your family like growing up? I mean, do you
So
have
it's
brothers
very
and sisters?
yeah. So I've got a younger brother, and that was pretty much it. Like I've got cousins. It was a very Spanish Chilean ethnic kind of upbringing. You know, there's a lot of relatives. And then as I grew up, they kind of all dropped off. You
Chilean.
know, dropped off.
Salutes to my Chilean audience as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've been notified about this year, and they're pretty excited to, like, see you represent Melbourne, brother. So
yeah,
for sure,
absolutely, man.
you have
Fucking
been
oath.
making waves in the scene, and it's about time somebody reached out and gave you your props, your well-deserved
Thank you.
flowers, because you've earned that respect. You've earned my respect
Thank
too,
you.
brother.
I appreciate it, man. Likewise.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. And growing up, what did you listen to much hip hop growing up?
No, so I struggled with that because I was the only, you know, brown kid at my school. And then there was an Indian guy that came, and other than that, it was very white. And so I struggled. Like when I bought that 50 Cent record, I tried to show my friends, I tried to show people, but nobody liked it. Nobody really related with it. And so as a result of that, that was kind of like where it stopped until I got into maybe year 9, year 10, when I started to, there was a lot more South Sudanese people that would come through the school, a lot more like international programs like that. You know, a lot of people from the States, other Chileans would come. And that was kind of like how I then got introduced a bit more to hip hop. I mean, older cousins were a thing. Like they kind of listened to hip hop. But, well, they did. I mean, they definitely did, but I wasn't really around them much. They were a bit older than me, and it's a bit dark there. It's a very dark history there with my cousins.
I introduced you, brother, as an artist, a producer, an engineer, and founder
Yeah.
of Donkeyman Records. Tell us a bit
Yes,
about
sir.
how that all came to be, brother, because I know that's your heart right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been doing Donkeyman for about 10 years, probably 8 years now, actually. 2018, I think I started. I looked it up. Yeah, I went back through my Instagram to see when it was, and yeah, I think it was about 2018. I was just starting to kind of get into doing like recording for other people and producing for other people as opposed to just making my own stuff. And I wanted a producer name. And I was sitting with my missus in at home in the lounge room, and we were going through names that kind of meant like names for things that you don't know had names. And we found Donkeyman is what you'd call someone who's in charge of a ship's engine, a big ship. Like the Titanic would have had a Donkeyman, you know, someone who's in charge of the engine.
An engineer, for sure.
Exactly, yeah. And so that was like, okay, that's kind of like, you know, as cringy as it is, but it kind of relates to what I'm doing. I'm like the man who's in charge of the engine of a song.
Not at all, brother. Not at all, man. Like you're in charge of production, recording, mixing, mastering, video, photography, turning, you know, like you're yourself into a full creative force.
Yeah,
and that's,
absolutely.
You know, that's my honest
that's
opinion,
kind of where
man.
that came from.
You've spent years developing yourself as a musician. Sorry. Before expanding into production, recording, mixing, mastering, video, photography. And what was the turning point for Donkeyman Records when you said, fuck it, I'm just going to go all out, man. And this is going to work no matter what. There is no plan B. This is the plan B, A, B, and C.
Yeah, bro. So that the day that I turned 30 years old was a slap in the face. It was like, if I died tomorrow, like what's going to be left? Truly, what's truly going to be left? Like 4 songs online that are kind of like, and I'm like, yeah, they're all right, but you know, I'm not proud of them. And what else? Like nothing really. There's nothing there. And I was like, holy shit! Like I'm 30, and like my whole 20s was just nothing. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, so, I can relate to that, brother.
Yeah,
I can relate to that.
I ended up
my 20s were a blur, my brother. I don't remember nothing about that.
Yeah, bro.
I understand, man. We all human, bro.
Like an oath. And it's like, you know, turning from 27 to 28 or 28 to 29, you know, the numbers are just the same. And then when you turn 30, it looks different and it feels different. And then you're like, fuck, what was my mum doing when she was 30? She had 2 kids and she had a house and she was doing shit. And I was like, fuck, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm still kind of, you know, working job to job. I don't have a set career. Like, I know that I want to do music, but how's that going to happen? It's like, okay, well, I'm just going to have to fucking do it. I'm just going to have to do something. And so I went out and I bought a caravan. And the idea I had this idea when I was studying. I wrote a thesis on it for my master's in sound engineering, was to build a portable studio as cheap as possible, but as professional as possible. And so I thought I'll revisit that. Like I can tie that in. And so I did. I went out, found a caravan, gutted it, built a studio in it. And I was like, fuck, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And again, like, it was harder than I thought. It was a slap in the face, but it got me started into what truly was what is Donkeyman now. Like, that's kind of like, that start.
That's great, man. That's amazing, bro. That's hands-on, self-made path.
Yeah.
You know, helped shape the independent mindset, of course, behind everything. It's that mentality that you always want to move forward as a creative artist.
Yes, sir.
You know, like, you spent 2 years, you know, like, a part of that journey included 2 years, brother, you know, creating out of the caravan. How was that experience like, man? Truly.
It was awesome. So I started out with a friend of mine. So I built the caravan, and it was just awesome. I love forward driving. I love camping. So I'm like, how can I mix the two together? And I built it, and I took it out for a bit, and it was amazing. And then it kind of like lived in my mum's house. I took it out once, and then that was it. I never took it out again because I just got so comfortable there. And it was like another studio. It was exactly like a studio. But I got so comfortable with it that it was like, oh, this is actually something that I could actually probably do permanent, like at a permanent location. So I started a podcast with a friend of mine as well to kind of just get some kind of content out there. And yeah, that was essentially the start of what this place is now. People just started to get, I started to get a lot of interest. People wanted to come in, even though they didn't know that it was a caravan. Sure. The caravan was like an added bonus when they got there, like, holy fuck, it's filmed in a caravan. That's awesome, you know? And when I realized that, I was like, exactly.
Aesthetics of it.
Exactly, yeah. But I also realized that, because I thought the caravan was a selling point, but it wasn't. It turned out to be that it was me that was a selling point. And the people didn't even know that it was a caravan until they came. And I was like, okay, well, then I can almost ditch the caravan and get something bigger, something more permanent, something more professional, you know, as opposed to a caravan at my mum's house. Because it can go both ways, you know. It's like, fuck, it's a caravan, you know, but then it's a caravan at my mum's house.
Absolutely, brother. With the sound rooted in rap, rock, and the mindset built on independence, brother, rebellion, authenticity, shout out to Gabs.
Shout out.
Donkeyman represents more than just an artistic project. Brother, what was the turning point for you that you said when you made the transition from music, as in being a musician and playing live on stage, to I need to build a creative hub for the people that withstands the test of time?
Yeah. It was the lack of resources that I had as a musician. You know, thinking about like why did it have to wait until I was 30 for me to realize, is because there wasn't really anything out there that could teach me otherwise. And because of that, I'm like, well, how's everybody else going to be able to do that? You know, I'm sick of universities being the standard to have to get into the industry, or The Voice or something like that, you know?
Exactly.
And so, that was pretty much, when probably after the 50th rejection of something, whether it was, you know, trying to get onto another podcast or into a studio or whatever it was, then it was like, oh, I'm just going to make my own, and I'm going to do it properly, and I'm going to try not gatekeep as much, because I understand gatekeeping to a degree is useful. You know, you're not going to have fucking racists on and whatnots. You know, that's gatekeeping, is keeping those people out. But
not just racists and that people who threaten to kill and fucking violence every 2 seconds.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man.
Exactly.
Like, you know, but we've come a long way. It's within 2026, brother. You know, if people still come with that attitude, there is no place for them in anyone's community, because we're about life, the preservation of life and shit, the sanctity, you know, of God. Yeah, definitely.
For sure. I mean, that was like, that was but gatekeeping because you don't like somebody's music, I think is wrong. I think that your audience should have to decide that, you know, like you can't decide if that's a bad mix or if that's a shit song or if that doesn't fit.
That's just
that's not up to me.
One opinion, of course.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not up to me. Like, so I'm not gonna.
I told a friend of mine recently. I said, you know, brother, don't say you're a master, bro. Let other people tell you you're a master. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A master doesn't call himself a master. Other people tell him,
100%.
Bro, you're a fucking legend. You're this, you're that. You know, like, let the people say. Let the people speak. You know. So I was gonna ask you, how many studio moves before you moved to Rowville?
So aside from my mum's house and my old bedroom, I was at Marshall Street Studios for a bit.
Shout outs to Marshall Street Studios, man.
Shout outs. And I then started just before COVID. I was at a property up in Beaconsfield. It's a beautiful, like 100 acres or whatever of just really nice farmland.
Right.
The guy let me put a studio in the front room. And then COVID hit and I couldn't do that. And so that kind of fell through. But other than that, like, yeah, I haven't really been much anywhere else other than my own home, really.
Brother, what kept you going when everything felt pointless?
Fuck, it's still, that still happens to this day. I'll wake up and feel like everything's pointless.
What keeps you going, brother?
To be honest, I have no idea. I think it's just, there's a feeling that it's just, you're just going to keep going. I just keep going because it just feels like what I should be doing. I follow my gut. You know, I don't follow my brain. I don't follow me being tired or me being exhausted or me being annoyed or frustrated. I just keep doing it because it's what my gut's telling me to do.
Yeah, of course. But, you know, sometimes we go in that rabbit hole. I know myself, you know, my father being murdered when I was 2 years old. You know, it takes a toll on your mental health, you know, over the years. So, well, darkest mental health period and what pulled you through? But
yeah, I mean, I've gone through a lot of like really dark stuff, you know, that's happened in my family. And a lot of the times it is family that helps me get through it. Friends. And then, I mean, obviously more than anything, my music, making music, being able to, like, I always feel incredibly lucky that I'm able to sit in a room that has continuous power that can power my computer so I can continuously make music. Counting my blessings like that is also something that keeps me grounded and keeps me moving. It's like, well, fuck, like just because shit's not going your way, don't forget that
it doesn't mean,
I can sit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like I was watching a video of Kanye the other day and
Kanye West, yeah.
But what he said just flipped my mindset. He's like, how is it that we're so scared of AI, but yet we're all happy to live inside a room with artificial air from an air conditioner, watching artificial shit on the TV? And it's like, yeah, fuck. Like, we're so lucky that we can sit in a room and decide that it's going to be 21 degrees in this room right now. And it's like, when I think of shit like that, it's like, fuck, well, it's actually not that bad. Like, I should.
So what's one habit that saved your sanity?
Smoking.
When you were, don't recommend to the audience smoking, of course not, but if that shit helps, you know, if that helps for medicinal purposes, then I have no right to tell you what to do.
Let me talk. Let me talk about it. I have severe OCD, very bad OCD, intrusive thoughts to the point where it was like, sometimes I wouldn't know if I'm gay, if I like watching people die. Like, it'll just get like thoughts that would just constantly live in my brain that I could not stop thinking of, and then I get obsessed over those thoughts. I never smoked ever until I was 30, because when I turned 30, I had essentially like a quarter life crisis. I went and got my health checked, and one of the biggest things was my mental health, and I went and got that checked, and my OCD was just unbearable. Like, I couldn't sleep, and I was training. I used to train doing weights, like really heavy weights, and I was getting a bit injured, and my trainer's like, you should try some of this THC oil. It'll relieve the pain. I was like, okay. I've never done it before. Don't know what it's like. Don't know what it's going to feel like. So I took some, and my brain just quietened down, and I just forgot about shit that I was obsessed with. And it was just like calming. I just could think freely, and I could focus on what I wanted to think about. And ever since then, I was like, "Yep, where's my bag? I need to get a bag of fucking this shit, and then you just smoke it now."
That's why I wanted to get you on the show for a few reasons. But one, because, you know, I appreciate how your brain works, brother, and how your heart works. And I really think you're highly intelligent and shit. But it takes a lot to pull this shit off, you know. Like, you do it very well. But I want to ask you, brother, how long did it actually take to build the HQ?
So I've been here. I got the keys on January 20th, 2025. So a year and maybe 3-4 months.
Year and a bit.
And the intention was, so I used to work at cash converters. I used to be a pawnbroker. The intention was to make this half pawnbroker, half studio. So the pawnbroker would kind of fund the dream. And the guy that I was doing it with lost his mind. And so now it's just a music studio. And thank God for Gabs, Really Never Dies, because she's really helped me get this to the stage that it's at, where it visually looks amazing. Like, it's functional, and it's now with the podcast, it's like, we're just constantly getting new people in, and we just built this little cycle together, and it's maybe taken me, I'd probably say maybe 6 to 8 months since
of
probably
course,
July
man.
last year.
Yeah, send my best to Gabs as well if she's listening.
Absolutely.
Like you, I appreciate it, sis, and the amount of work that you do as well hasn't gone unnoticed. So
No.
yeah. So what's the wildest music project you've ever worked on?
Wildest music project I've ever worked on. I've worked on a few. The wildest music project. So in 2019, when I was at Marshall Street, I got depression really bad, and so I quit music. Quit music for about a year and a half, and then I got a message from a friend of mine, a Sri Lankan friend of mine, saying that he wants to record an album for his band. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I've got all the gear. So I said, sure, I'll do it. I'll get my gear. I'll plug it in and we'll do it. And he came over and we did it. And his music was like, he called it temple metal. It was like Sri Lankan Indian temple music fused with like metal. And I was like, fuck, this is kind of cool. I like this. This is awesome, this blending of genres.
Absolutely.
And I'd never really done anything like that either before. Like, it was really new to me. And that ignited, that particular music session ignited my passion again for music. And it was just a bizarre album overall, because it really was different. It was, I mean, Nero, shout out Nero. He's awesome. I don't want to, talk badly about him. But in terms of like actual recording, it was a bit difficult because he didn't know much about like music. And you could play guitar, but it like the translation was a bit difficult from like just a normal brain to a music brain, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, of course.
And that whole session really taught me a lot. Really did.
That would have. Absolutely. That sounds very profound. But I'm thinking to myself, if there was a dream collab, dead or alive, who would it be?
Fuck. Shit. There's a lot. I mean.
Good question, though.
Oh, man. Yeah, it is. It really is.
To a real artist like yourself, this is going to be a profound answer.
Yeah, I'm probably going with somebody like a Mozart or a Beethoven. I think Beethoven would be fucking cool to collab with.
Great answer, brother. Great answer.
Because his piano, even Chopin, I love like really melancholy piano music. And I think getting like an OG like that to write something like that and then sample that with a hip hop beat would be dope. I think that'd be awesome.
Man, let's make something happen. You never know.
Come on, let's summon him back from the dead. Come on.
And you never know. But how do you feel about the AI generated music? Is it a game changer or a lazy slop?
Oh, it's absolutely a game changer. If you use it right, if you're using it as a tool to enhance what you've already done, awesome. If you're using it to replace, different story.
It can never replace the human creative mind, like the original thinkers, man. Now, ghostwriters.
The thing that you probably can, to be honest, you probably can replace the human mind, but I don't think you should. I think that's the thing.
No, you can never. No, there's a spark of God when you're born, but nobody can. That's why your fingerprint is unique to you, because you're one of one. There is no two of you, brother. Once we're gone, believe me, I hope there'll be more revolutionaries to come, and I suppose that's why we do what we do, but never an us again, So how do you feel about ghostwriters? Acceptable or not?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's all up to the ghostwriter themselves, but as long as credit is paid where credit is due, and the person who is receiving the ghostwriting isn't going out saying I'm doing it all, then whatever. People write music for people all the time.
Best Melbourne artist now that isn't you.
Mikado. Yeah. She blows my mind every time I see her music. She's incredible.
Beautiful. Well, shout out to her. Another queen in the game. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yeah, bro. Look at me. Now, I'm fat as fuck. I'm down for it.
Now, these are some fun questions, but I wanted to throw into the mix as well.
Let's do it.
That's what the Zeus podcast is all about. So I'm giving you your flowers, yes. You know what I mean? But a space where we can have a laugh too and make it. And one of those inspirations have obviously been you, brother, and how you format your show,
Yeah.
That's why I'm always watching all the time. I'm having such a great time.
I love it.
Shout outs to you, man.
Fuck yeah, bro. But yeah, man, pineapple on pizza.
This is gonna be a chain. This is gonna be a game changer. Pineapple on pizza, yes. So Melbourne music scene versus interstate.
In what sense, you reckon?
In the sense where maybe overall, yeah. I don't know. It depends what Rico thinks.
I think Melbourne is popping hard. I see it as like, again, we're entertainment, and music should be battling other forms of entertainment that don't involve music, like the footy or movies. I mean, movies different, but
Yeah, absolutely.
we should be getting people to listen to music as opposed to listen to my music. I think it's the goal should be.
Goal should be collaborative. Yeah, music in general,
Exactly,
every genre.
Yes.
Now, what's the craziest fan interaction?
Craziest fan interaction.
Yeah, bro. I think
I've had a few.
I think a few people wrote in and they wanted to ask that question.
Yeah, I've had a few. So it's funny because a lot of the fans that do come up to me end up turning into good friends. One being Elijah. Elijah, I met him just randomly at a gig. It was a gig at the Beast. He came up to me and he said, "Hey, dude, I really like your stuff. Let me freestyle for you." And he just started rapping to me in the streets. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Nice, yeah.
And then he came to, Elijah. You've met Elijah. He's a tall white dude that was at. Yeah,
but yeah, for sure, man. Great guy. Yeah, phenomenal talent. Not a light worker. Yeah,
absolutely, man. Yeah, he's the reason why he's there because I invited him to. I'm like, man, come through. Like, I see you're a musician. Just because you're a fan doesn't mean you can't come through. And he came and I did a podcast with him, so that'll come out soon. And yeah, I mean,
nice, very nice.
That's probably the one that stands out to me. I've had many people stop me, at Coles, whatnot, say, "Hey, I like your podcast. I like your music. What this?" But nothing really like weird or anything yet.
Best Melbourne venue?
Donkeyman Records HQ. Fuck.
Nice.
To be honest, there's not many, man. There's not many. Like, I really like the Kindred Band Room. I think Kindred Band Room's dope. That's in Footscray.
Yeah.
And also where they did Take the Stage. The SB's awesome. That one's always been awesome. That one's like a staple.
Sure.
Sound-wise, it's probably not that great, but in terms of like nostalgia for me, especially, I've performed at the SB a lot. And yeah, the SB's a dope.
For sure. Shout out Laundry Bar. Shout outs to the Nightcap. Shout outs to the Poly Bar, even though that's a cruisy setting. I was there recently. We were there recently, under the radar. Shout outs to Eleanor Di Fiore and Fine Tune PR. For sure, man. 100%. Eleanor is like family to me. And definitely I'm going to give her a shout out for all the hard work, behind the scenes work that she does.
Absolutely.
That doesn't go unnoticed, especially somebody like me too. And she's making great waves in the industry in regards to connecting people together, and I'm so honored to be a part of that. Now, speaking of superheroes, shout outs to the Superverse, shout outs to Super Cuz from Stockton, USA, who's created the character for me called Zeus. And he's got wings and sword and shit, chopping motherfuckers up left, right,
I think I saw that. That was dope.
So shout outs to the Superverse, shout outs to the big homie Super Cuz.
Fucking knows. Donkeyman needs his own superhero now.
Well, maybe I can make that intro for you, brother.
Fucking knows.
Man, he's the big homie, man. He'll love you too, bro. You're a great guy, bro.
No.
You're a good guy.
Fuck yeah.
Worst industry trend right now?
Worst industry trend? There's a lot, and I don't know which one to pick.
Yeah, could be 3 or more. I know how your brain works, brother. You got multiple things spinning in that brain of yours, bro.
Yeah, it's probably people. The worst industry trend. There's industry behaviors that I'm thinking about, but in terms of trends, I think, I don't even know, man.
But even industry behaviors, even too.
I hate it when I go to a gig and people leave who are performing. Like, I think people are so.
See? It's important, man.
Like, you got to stay till the end. Like, if you're going to go to a show, if you're going to perform at a show, you're not famous yet. If you're in the local scene, so don't act like it. I think that's the biggest thing, is that I get it, fake it till you make it, but it doesn't mean you have to be a dick. It doesn't mean you have to not support everybody else. It's not all about you. It's about the scene, and it's about building up. We're all trying to grow together.
Absolutely.
Exactly, yeah.
Guilty pleasure song.
People who... Ooh. Far. I've got a lot. I mean...
The first one that comes to mind.
I've never been... First one that comes to mind. I'm loving Teddy Swims doing Shania Twain.
Nice. That's very creative.
Shania Twain.
I'm thinking of Christy Berg, Lady in Red.
That's a nice song. That's a good song.
Beautiful, brother.
I mean, guilty pleasures. Like, I love. It's a good question.
Time for the good shit. Best tour or live gig story, brother. The fans want to know this.
Yes, I could. So actually, I played a show at the SB once, and it was to one person. This is this was about maybe 15 years ago, and it was one person who was sitting at the bar, and he was an Aussie dude, and he was drunk as shit. And after every song, he would just be like, "Play some fucking chisel, you cunts!" Every fucking song. Nah, play some fucking chisel. That was at the SB. That was in the Gershwin room, bro.
Man.
That was fucked. That was an industry trend actually back in the day, bro. When you had to like in order to play a show, you had to sell tickets. You had to bring people to the show.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But they never really told you that.
Gig, huh?
Yeah, that was definitely
crazy.
Yeah.
Time that you nearly quit music for good. What was that like for you?
It was tough. It felt like my whole identity was over. I was like 25, 26. You know, it was 2019, working at Marshall Street, and there was just a snowball of things that just didn't go my way. That I bet on. Like I quit my job at Cash Converters, thinking that I was going to get somebody who had said they were going to invest in me was going to invest in me, and it all fell through. And so that was like a big fucking slap in the face. Like, holy shit, I can't believe that happened. And I just couldn't pick myself back up. It was very tough. And it was about a year and a half that I just didn't do anything, any kind of music at all.
Right.
And then I finally, met Nero and got back into it.
God bless you, man. You've been through a lot of shit, man. That's why I thought it's very important to, document this for future generations. Keep it as
absolutely,
the Akashic records, if you know what I mean. Have a cup of tea, love. Shout out to my English fans, Joe Mooney, one of the best freestylers in the fucking world. And all this random celebrity or industry encounter.
So when I was I went to South by Southwest a few times in Austin, Texas.
Shout out to Austin,
there's
Texas.
Actually shout out, man.
Shout out to a few Houston, Texas, where I'm from too.
Yeah, no shit. That's right. You're from up there. Yeah. So Austin, Texas, I met. There's two stories. So first one, I got an random email saying that I was invited to a party that was going to be run by Bjorn from ABBA. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And it said RSVP by like 9 o'clock tonight to come. And I was like, okay, so I RSVP'd, sure, I did it. I didn't think much of it. I was like, this is weird. I feel like they're just using his name. Anyway, I showed up and it was full. It was a top story of the Hilton. It was like the Penthouse Hilton in Austin, and it was a massive like all you can eat buffet of just like sliders and burgers and fucking everything you could think.
Sounds
and Bjorn was
delicious,
there,
bro. Yeah.
And I was like, Bjorn's
man?
here. It was incredible. It was like so there was the CEO of Pro Tools was there. They were showing a new mixing desk. The CEO of Spotify was there. There's a whole bunch of like industry heads in that room. That was like, it was really bizarre, and I could not work out why I got a ticket. Like, why did I get that email? I had no idea. Like, it wasn't just an email that anybody could go to. Like, it was, I just randomly got it for some reason. I don't know why, but that was awesome. That was probably my first, and I managed to speak to Bjorn and tell him, this is nice to meet you. This is awesome, But the second time on that same trip, I went to San Francisco, and the guy that I was with says, San Francisco's dope. I love that city.
Yeah, brother. I was there 2014. On the business trip, and funny that you said Hyatt. I stayed at the Grand Hyatt San Francisco back in 2014.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Talk to me.
Yes, yeah. So San Francisco, and my friend's like, hey, I've got a guy who's invited me to another penthouse party. And this guy's like a gamer. He plays games, and he's a very popular gamer. He's very autistic, and he's won so many awards and won so many competitions. And I was like, awesome, we'll go. And so we went, and it's literally like, it was just a room full of Japanese guys, and there was me. It was a classic movie scene where you walk in and the whole room just goes quiet, and they all just look at you like, who the fuck is this giant walking in? Like, who is this guy? And one by one, they all came up to me and greeted me and gave me their business card. And in amongst those people, there was the guy that the guy that works at Dolby. He like engineered the Dolby Atmos shit. But then there was also another guy there who wrote the Tetris theme song. And I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. Like, fuck. Like, and I just started talking to him, and he's like, yeah. And he goes, and I'm like, is there anything else you've done? Like Tetris theme song? He goes, yeah. Because I wrote, I helped Michael Jackson make his game and did all the music, the soundtrack for Michael Jackson's game. I was like, fuck, all right, this is awesome. Fuck yeah. So I just sat there talking to this dude. It was fucking the best night. It was awesome.
For sure.
Yeah, that was probably the best celebrity interaction I think that I've had so far.
Weirdest thing a fan ever sent you.
a foot. I've had a severed foot. Someone's cut. No, I haven't really had anybody send me anything.
Bro, you're too funny, man. All right. This is beautiful, bro. Nah, this is what it's all about, bro. Like you being in your natural form, bro, and you being your best. And that's the thing. Not many people set up that podcast in a way where it actually gives you your flowers. So I set it up for the Zeus podcast just specifically for people who are light workers, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And you're one of those people, brother. And the utmost respect for sure, man. What's the funniest thing that ever happened to you in the studio?
In the studio, fuck. I've had people pass out like mid-session, and then I just leave them, and then have to wake them up like 4 hours later, 5 hours later when I've got another session. I'm like, dude, you got to get the fuck out of here, bro. And then I just charge them for the session, bro. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, you know, like if you want to nap, go rent a hotel, man. You know, like it's just stupid. You come to work, man. You know.
I know, right? Yeah, it boggles my mind,
man, bro. You know, yeah. Finish this sentence, bro. I knew I made it when
I censored myself, bro. I knew I made it when I completed something and released a song. I know I make it when every time I complete an episode and release it, complete a song and release it, complete a video and release it. That's when I know I've made it.
What's one story you've never told on your podcast before?
One story I've never told on my podcast before. There's a lot of stories. It depends which way we go with it. We can go really fucked up, or we can go really neutral.
I reckon we'll ask Uncle Rico on this one.
We can ask Uncle Rico. Yeah, well, I mean, there's some. I don't know if I've said it before on my podcast, but Uncle Rico is actually, all the stories that I say about Uncle Rico are all true, and he's just a name that I use to tell these stories about people who don't want these stories to be out there. That's
nice,
something that I've never told.
Yeah, no, I always thought Uncle Rico was a real guy, man. Was a real dude, but it turns out it was a figment of your imagination, and that's what I wanted to tell you. But that was brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah.
I need a moment to comprehend that shit, bro. So after all this time, bro, there's Uncle Rico. All right, sweet.
Yeah, bro.
Let's get into the real talk now.
Yeah.
Why help other independents when you can just, chase your own bag?
Because it just feels right. It just feels like what I should be doing. I don't know, just the type of person that I am, but it's just, I hated that I didn't have what I've got, what I can offer people. I always try and give people what I never had access to. That's just it. I've said this before. Selfless people do it for selfish reasons. I do it for selfish reasons. I think it makes me feel good, and I like it, and I like the way that it makes me feel good every time I help someone. And thank God that's the way that I get that kind of psychotic break, is by helping people.
That's not selfish, man. That's not selfish at all, man. It makes you feel good.
But I do it for self. Like I do it because it makes me feel good. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that's not selfish. When something, it's like a rhetorical question, a question that doesn't need an answer. You know what I mean? That's like, you want to help somebody, but for wanting nothing in return, but for you to feel good. That's what it's meant to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't worry about it, man. That's why I call you light worker, bro. And believe me, that shit doesn't go unnoticed. I talked to some hip hop heads the other day, and they said, fucking salute to Donkeyman, man. He's doing great work. So. What's one raw piece of advice for someone in the grind feeling like shit right now?
Don't stop. Just don't fucking stop. Whatever you do, don't stop posting, don't stop releasing music, no matter how shit it feels. You just cannot stop, because you never know. Like, the only people who fail are the ones who quit. Everybody who succeeded because they didn't stop. That's the brunt of it. Like, it's
exactly.
Don't stop.
Yeah, that don't stop. And I've had a few guests on here that say don't stop as well. And that's one of the key identifiers that I've noticed between a lot of my guests, is that you're all inspirational, and you're all and you're all like happy-go-lucky energies that other people want to be around and shit too. And that's what is important to realize. If you're somebody starting out or just coming up in the game, it's like you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fuck around and find out sometimes. But
I've seen a lot of, like, I see a lot of people say that, and I've seen a lot of people say that even throughout my 20s. That's like the biggest piece of advice that I would always get. But for some reason, it never landed like it did until recently. It's bizarre. So it's just like I just never took it seriously until now.
What would you tell your younger self, brother, with zero filter?
Don't be scared. Don't be scared to tell people about shit that's going on. and just talk.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of shit that happened to me as a kid that a lot of people didn't, some people believed me, some people didn't believe me. And it was very difficult to kind of navigate that as a child. And it was like, I wish I could just, and because of that, I stopped telling. So it's like, I wish I just, and it was because I was scared. It was like, just don't be scared. Just keep telling people. Because, yeah,
Amen to
it's
that.
better than not.
What does real success look for you right now?
Real success. I was actually talking to my interns about this. Real success is completing shit, finishing shit, and finishing things that you say you're going to do. And then that's the success right there. Is, as I said before, yeah, when I release a song, when I finish an episode and it's edited and then it's released and somebody's seen it, I've succeeded. Everything else after
Amen
that,
to
whether
that.
it's monetary or anything like that, anything that's like, I don't know, made up is irrelevant. Like that'll come. Yeah, it's something that's a struggle to really try and grasp that. But it's something that I keep telling myself that, yeah, you're succeeding because you're doing what you're saying, and that's all that is.
That's all that matters, you know. Now, before I ask you my next question, you know, like I want to talk about the podcast cartel. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to my brother Labsy. He's doing fucking amazing work in the podcast space, as he's been doing for a couple of years now.
Absolutely,
approaching nearly 7 years. So shout outs to Labsy. Go watch his shit. Yeah, Real Talk with Labsy, and especially Real Talk. So Real Wisdom Wednesdays with Jamie. So it's one of my favorite things to do on a Wednesday afternoon after I finish work. Just chuck it on, boom, get some, you know, like otherworldly advice. No, it's really out of this world shit.
It is,
you know. So I really appreciate it on the 10th level. But yeah, go check that out. Back to the podcast cartel. Where do you see Donkeyman Records and the podcast cartel in 5 years?
On top, one of the biggest, I don't even know, like one of the biggest industry
giants,
whatever, in coming out of Australia. The podcast cartel, I mean, that's something that I've handed over to Labsy that I've got to try and get back into, because it is something that I want to try and expand, maybe change the name, maybe. But something that's been on my back burner, but Labs is kind of running that at the moment. But yeah, the point is to build some kind of big network that people can just, you know, it's just to be a part of and perform and record and do all the good shit that you want to do as a musician. Say that again. So I totally missed that.
Main message of your book, Fucking Up the Future.
Oh, yes.
Mental
the main
health
message of fucking up the future. So that's based around AI. I read that a few years ago. But the main message was like, to stop fucking up your shit by not doing it, by not releasing. I mean, the whole point was to keep releasing your stuff, and it's not gonna do any good for you if it's on a hard drive. You know, it's a very common thing for people to say, but people seem to not really understand it. But yeah, that was pretty much that.
So what was the first song that made you go, yep, I need to do this shit for life?
It's probably a recent song. It would be a recent song, because it's like, for that, it's never really been a specific song previously. Only up until, I mean, to be honest, like something like, I was obsessed with Slash.
Yeah.
And actually, even before that, I was obsessed with Santana. Yeah, I was obsessed with Santana. And Santana's got a song called Moonflower. It's Flor de Luna. I've got it tattooed on my arm. When I listened to that song, it was year 12. It was on the year 12 music performance sheet of the songs that you could choose to play as your end of year kind of exam. And when I listened to that, that really opened my eyes to what can be done on a guitar, and the feelings that can be done, and how the guitar can not just be a background instrument, but it can actually be like a lead. Because I never really grasped that. It was like, fuck, like, this is beautiful shit that you can play on the guitar. I'm like, what? I can play the guitar, so that means I can play this. And yeah, that was like, I want to do this forever. When I heard that song, I was like, yeah, that's me done. That's me checked in now.
Well, what was your favorite childhood memory that makes you laugh, you know, like right now when you think about it?
Yeah, there's, I mean, my dad's a bit of an idiot. He's done a lot of stupid things without knowing. When I was a kid, I mean, my dad, we used to live out the back of my grandparents' house on Wellington Road here. And he thought that one day we were eating tuna, and he couldn't believe that we'd eaten some tuna without him. And he ate all the tuna, only to find out that it was actually cat food.
Yeah. That would be crazy.
So that's that's definitely a memory that keeps popping up. Yeah,
that's a good one. All right. If I ask you to rank these: talent, grind, luck, stubbornness, coffee, or not giving a fuck, what would you rate it?
Not giving a fuck has to be number one, and then talent.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Sure.
You have to not give a fuck. You have to not care about anything. You have to not, even to the point where you have to not really care about your own music.
And then grind, and then luck,
stubbornness,
and for
grind,
sure coffee the whole way through.
Yeah, I don't believe in luck. I don't believe luck's a factor. I hear a lot of people say that it's all about luck, but I don't think it is. Yeah. I think that's just a cop out. I think people
more about skill than anything else.
I think it's hard work, man. It's all about hard work.
Yeah, well, skill comes with hard work. Like it's that skill of
for sure
dedicating to your craft for many years, and then having that skill for people to to see you shining.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
all about skill. Building the Donkeyman Records HQ was a nightmare for you. Pretty much like going from doing it out of the caravan to Donkeyman HQ, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
What were some of the best moments you've also experienced in the studio and the HQ?
I mean, the best part is meeting people, even the people that I've met now that help me in my interns and gabs. That's the best part of it, is really meeting all these new musicians who like people that I've seen out in the street who I didn't know were musicians, who find me some other way and then come through, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, I've seen you before. I'm like, yeah, I've seen you before. And then to find out that they're super talented is like, oh my, like fuck, this is awesome. That's always fun. That's always awesome. But yeah, meeting people is the best. Yeah,
for sure. No. It's part of what
I used to hate it. I used to,
yeah, me too. Back in the day, honestly, man, like back in the day, I wasn't much of a people person back in the day because I lived a very crazy, vicious life. I was very hesitant about people. Our shit is mostly customer service. You know what I mean? Like meeting and greeting people. Talking, having fun. Relating. Being around other like-minded individuals who are brilliant as well, and it's a beautiful thing.
And also being like a salesman.
Yeah, but you don't have to sell anything. But like your voice is your business card. Your face is your business card. Yeah. So maybe go back to a bit more fun shit. And I wanted to find out, what's your best late night servo run story from the grind years?
Best late servo night. I used to do more Macca's runs than servo runs, but I used to get really impatient at Macca's fucking knots. Yeah, bro. Especially in like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's like one person there, but I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, fuck, where are you, bro? Fuck. And then they get pissed off when I'd be waiting at the and they won't be talking, and then I drive through. I'm like, well, I've been waiting there for 10 minutes. I'm like, no, you haven't. You've been waiting there for 2. I was coming. I'm like, fuck. And then they make you drive around and shit.
On, that's what happens when you let kids handle fucking your orders and shit. They make a lot of mistakes. They got to learn somewhere. First job I ever have, I'm not saying anything. First job I had, I was 17 years old at KFC and shit. How many times I slipped on my fucking back for how oily that ground was, and make you wear these very slippery boots and shit. I needed done my packing a few times there, So my hats off to people. Every time I go through the drive-through, I said, "Hey, sister or brother, if you haven't heard this today, you're appreciated." And the smiles. I swear, the look in their eyes, they light up, brother. And believe me, what's the proudest I built this with my bare hands moment?
The caravan, without doubt. Yeah, I mean, I've made guitars, I've made heaps of shit, but the caravan was definitely like, fuck, like turning it from it's a 1969 fucking old caravan, like 70 years old or something, and then I managed to turn it into a fully functioning studio that it could be run off a generator, fully aircon, soundproof. Like it was, that was definitely like, fuck, I'm proud of this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm proud of you too, brother. So for anyone listening right now that should reach out to you if they need any of your services, where can they find that?
Donkeyman Records on Instagram or donkeymanrecords.com. You can find me on Grindr. No, I'm not a Grindr. You can find me on you can find me fucking just Donkeyman Records, Donkeyman, you'll find me
just Google Donkeyman Records, you'll find. I'll put his links up on the description below when this video is definitely going to be released. What was the funniest argument you've had with the collaborator or artist?
Oh man, fuck, so many, bro. Some people just want ridiculous shit, especially as an engineer, it's one thing, but as a videographer, it's another. Like, people want Hollywood shit stuff done for $100. I'm like, bro, I can't make the fucking Empire State Building explode for you.
I was talking to another friend of mine, expert, the other day. Definitely, a lot of people want a lot of shit for free these days, especially when they're working with like multi-million-dollar fucking state-of-the-art equipment. Like, look, brother, it takes a lot to run this shit, man. You know, like, you can't just throw $20 at the thing and say, no, it's a fucking insult at this point, you know? Like, real artistry, you know, like, people are meant to know by now. They operate on their reptilian brain, so it's fine. We gotta educate the younger generation. So, God forbid, if the studio burns down tomorrow, what thing would you save first? Something personal.
My guitars.
To you, you know? Yeah, brother.
My guitars.
I know how much you love them.
Yeah,
too,
probably
man.
my
That's
guitars.
A beautiful thing. Talk to me about your guitars, brother. You built them, you know, yourself.
No, I've got one guitar that I built myself. It's an electric Telecaster, but like, that's the only one. I've got a little charango. It's a Chilean guitar that's made. Yeah, that's a indigenous, like, Peruvian and from the Andes. This one my granddad brought in from Chile, and it's made out of an armadillo shell. It's got an actual armadillo shell on the back, and it's awesome. That's I'd probably save that first, to be honest.
Shout outs to my Chilean fans and audience members and loved ones and family and friends who I love and respect a lot. And you're probably watching this right now, especially with the Chilean fires as well too. There's been a lot of shit that's happened recently that you know, I wanted to get your opinion about. You know, in regards to that, could that have been avoided, or was that inevitable to happen?
The fires, to be honest, I'm not too sure. I don't know. Yeah, I've got no idea, bro. It's not something. Like, I've heard about it, I've read about it, but I didn't really think too much about it. I don't know, I struggle with world news sometimes.
Yeah, it does get too much, man. I agree. And so much happening around the world, and so much every day that keeps happening. It's hard to keep up, you know? So I understand
it was one of the things that it was one of the things that I was obsessed with, like, with my OCD, was, you know, world destruction, like the end of the world and stuff, and you know, wars and shit like that would really get stuck in my brain, and so I try not to consume that as much these days. I
understand, but you know, like, you shouldn't worry about none of that stuff. We all know what's going to happen in the end. You know, we're playing out in the final book of Revelation. It's all playing out perfectly, you know. So we know what's going to happen in the end, you know. That's why I say a prayer before every episode, you know, to bless the prayer, to bless the audience, that they're watching and are safe. Hopefully, you know, their whole families are safe too. You never know what someone's going through as well. They probably need a lot of help and inspiration. I know I certainly do. You know, I reach out to fans and family members and relatives. Yeah, a lot of things boggles my mind, but I know we're blessed at the end of the day. You know, in the name of Jesus Christ, we are blessed. Auto-tune, AI beats, ghostwriters, paying for playlists, boom bap or boom cap?
Boom bap. I mean, they're all useful. Like, I think they're all, like, you know, even like the whole auto-tune thing, the whole auto-tune argument. If you know, you know. If you don't, then shut the fuck up. Like, I think people who complain about autotune have no idea how it goes. They have no idea how it's used. They don't get what autotune even means. They don't get that that's the difference between, like, autotune and manual fucking, you know, Melodyne and shit. Like, it's all different. Like, people don't really know.
Yeah, of course, man. Favorite producer, Melbourne producer, apart from
there's a lot.
Do you have a favorite music producer?
Yeah, 808 Music. He's one of my interns. He's fucking incredible. There's a reason why he works out here, because he's dope. He's very, like, Afro type, but he's also trying to, you know, do his own type, like Afro trap type beats, which is awesome. But yeah, he's definitely one of the top, and he's fucking growing fast. Like, people, every time someone comes through, I'm like, listen to his beats, and then they're like, yeah, fuck, I'll buy a beat off you. That's fucking awesome. So yeah, keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This has it's been a great experience tonight, man. Thank you for your hard work, your grind, showing people that you can do it, coming from not much to making something so profound. You know, brother.
Thank you.
But if you were to leave one word of advice for the up and coming generation, what would that be?
collaborate as much as you can, and don't expect. Keep money out of the equation to a degree. Don't let it like really get you riled up about shit. Like if somebody fucks you over, move on. Don't linger on shit because it's a waste of time. And yeah, collaboration is key. Like I think you should collaborate on as much stuff as you can, whether it's music, content, photos, whatever. It's the most, probably the best advice I can give.
Thank you very much, brother, for your time. It's been an honor having you tonight.
Thank you, sir, mate. Can I say, like, you're an absolute G as well, yeah? Like, I really like your...
Appreciate you.
No, seriously, like, I like the fact that you have taken that extra step to also make your own podcast, which I think we need more of in Melbourne. Independent podcasts, I think, is something that has to happen more, and I'm really happy that you've gone and taken the initiative to do it yourself, and you do a really good job. I like your episodes. They're super clean. They're nicely edited. And yeah, I got to give you your flowers as well, because you're also somebody who's, really saving this scene, I suppose, or lifting it up to another level. So I appreciate you.
That means the world to me, man. That means the world to me coming from you. You know what? You're one of the reasons why, I've been inspired to do this. And shout out to Labsy. He's another reason as well. There's a few reasons out there.
Absolutely. Shout out to Labsy, bro.
This is for you today, to give you your flowers today, your well-deserved respect for all the hard years of grind and suffering and pain and sacrifice that you've had to go through. It's about you here today, brother. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, brother. We salute you, brother. We're right behind you, fucking 100,000,000%, So
thank you.
I'll definitely leave the links on the bottom for anyone who's interested.
Absolutely.
But thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for being patient with us.
Thank you.
And I hope you've had a lot of fun here on the Zeus podcast. Until next time, God bless you, fam.
Peace. Fuck yeah.